Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of your hosts this evening, Michael.
You're going to leave it like that?
These have times.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts this evening, Michael, followed by other host, Kat.
Hi.
And other host, Sage.
Hi.
Who made us watch the show that we're going to talk about now.
Yeah.
For better or worse. Sage.
Is there better?
Yeah.
Introduce your anime for Anime Club.
We watched Trinity Blood.
Sure did.
I mean,
Sadly.
it could have been worse.
Could it?
It could have been
Yeah,
worse.
it could have been
I
worse.
have watched worse.
I
I
feel
guess.
like in my defense, I did preface this then saying that I liked this when I was 13.
And I can
fair.
absolutely see why you like it when
And,
you're 13.
and let's all be real, I had shit taste at that time.
Had?
Hey. But honestly, like, because I went into it being like, I didn't really remember that much except for like character designs, because I remember really liking those.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, let's fuck around and find out. And like, you know what? It could have been worse. Like,
I just wish it wasn't so long to fuck around and find out.
It's weird because, like I was saying this before we.
Was this a show you watched weekly or you?
No,
binged
I
it?
just saw it like sporadically. I don't even think I ever watched it all the way through, but every time
Was
I
this
did.
a Toonami show?
I think it was on Toonami, but like late night.
Okay.
I don't think it was on like in the
Well,
prime
like, was
time
that
slots.
how you were watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it was ever in like the prime time slots when they had like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto going.
Yeah, because I knew even back then that it wasn't good.
But yeah, so I just had like very vague memory of it, and I was like, yeah, it's vampires, so of course I'm gonna be into it. And I decided let me read the manga just to see like the comparison. And so I read the first 2 arcs of the manga, which is about like half of it, which is like 40 volumes. No, that's a lot.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't.
No,
read
I
it.
I think
didn't
it's like
look it up
21
either.
volumes total, but I only read half of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I was reading the manga first just to like see, and then I was like, okay, let me watch the anime now. And I was so confused watching this anime because I'm like, why is so much stuff different? Who the fuck are these people I've never seen before?
So you read it when?
Like this month.
Oh, so when you said this is what we're watching, that's when you chose to.
Yeah,
read
I
it,
chose
and
to read
then-
it just to see like
Okay.
if it was like gonna be a direct like 1-to-1 comparison, because this is an older show, so like that wasn't as common then.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, it's only 1 season and the manga's not so long that they couldn't have
Is
done
it
that.
like the kind of thing that they started the show too early, that they didn't have enough stuff, so they wrote other stuff, or it's just completely
well,
different?
the first 2 episodes are not even in the manga. Like, I think episode 3 is when the manga actually starts,
Interesting.
which is weird. But supposedly, so I looked it up because I was really curious. And apparently there's a light novel, which is the original, then the manga, then the anime.
So maybe the first 2 are in the light novel?
Yeah, so they were talking about how, like, in the anime, they just take pieces from the light novel and the manga.
Interesting.
But then they also, like, changed stuff and decided to, like, especially in the anime, like, they chose to, like, age down and age up certain characters seemingly at random.
Oh, okay.
Like, Dietrich seems way older in the anime, where in the manga he's like a charming young man.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he seems way like a young, like an adult at that point within the
Yeah.
anime. And then they make Seth like a literal 6-year-old when she's supposed to be like the appearance of maybe like 15, 16 years old. It's really weird. I'm like, I don't know why.
I sure was confused by that.
Yeah.
So both, at least on my anime list, it's showing that both versions for adaptation are considered light novels, but that might just be false labeling. Either way, there's 6 volumes of both. There's 2 versions. And they're both unfinished because the author passed away before they could finish writing anything.
Tragic.
So
That's for the light novel.
I only see the light novel on here. It shows 2 versions, Reborn on Mars and Rage Against the Moons.
Hold, please.
Boy,
Which-
I not caring about either
are
of
you,
those.
wait,
Those are
Reborn on
subtitles.
Mars?
And Rage Against the Moons. Those just sound like okay indie bands.
Are you sure?
That's what I'm looking at right here.
Okay. That seems so random, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to
Because
tell
it
you.
says on Wikipedia that there's 21 volumes for the manga. So
They just didn't
Oh,
care enough.
but
to
there's
put it
12
on.
volumes of the light novel.
Okay, so
that must be what you're talking about.
So somebody else was doing the manga, I assume.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're all different. Is because this was never finished.
Actually, that's right. They are all different because they were all like produced by somebody else.
Okay,
each
so
time.
that's probably why.
But they all take general bases from the light novel. But the changes they make, I think, at least from having read a portion of the manga versus watching the anime, I feel like the anime is probably the weakest of the bunch.
Nice. I'm glad that's
Great.
what we can
Love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the aging thing is weird in some places, but like Dietrich, I thought that was fine. I thought it kind of
They
made
make his
sense.
design kind of ugly.
I mean, I don't know
He's
what
a
the
lot-
fuck it looks like
He's much
separately.
he's much more handsome in the manga. I don't know why they chose to do that.
But I thought the Seth thing was weird. I just didn't understand.
Yeah, no, Seth is not that
So
young in
Because especially when they go to the flashback and it's like exactly the fucking same. And
Yeah.
it's just like, okay.
yeah, but they're vampires. So should
Yeah, but the others
should
look
we?
different.
Well, should then we just like get through the non-spoiler thought real quick, just so we.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get through the non-spoilers.
All right, my turn. I sure as shit thought this was boring. It sure was hard to watch. I thought, to me, I was saying this to Mike, that it seemed very much more about the church than vampires, that I found myself a lot of the time forgetting vampires or even like the main
Part.
yeah, and it just kind of seemed like a church anime to me for the most part until all of a sudden they're like, you're a vampire, like, oh my god. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's what this is about, right? I forgot about that. And maybe I was also telling Mike this, that I had to rewatch episodes because my brain was just tuning it out. I wasn't doing anything. Like, I literally wasn't even doing anything separately. Like, because sometimes I'll watch while I'm, like, working a little bit.
Right.
Like, if it's easy tasks. I wasn't doing anything. I was literally just sitting there staring at it. And I was just tuning it out. And I'd be like, fuck, what happened? So I literally rewatched at least 5 episodes because I got through the whole thing. And I was like,
Just
oh.
like, wait, what the fuck did
Yeah, I
just
was like, oh,
watch?
fuck, I don't know what the hell just happened. So I had to go back, and then a lot of the times I would just have to go back like a minute or two. But 5 whole episodes I
my
had to
God.
like rewatch because I was like, I have no idea what the fuck happened. Also, I had a problem with the audio. It felt like the
mixing was weird,
yeah,
right?
their like vocals were really low, but then the music was really loud. So I found myself turning it up so I could hear, and then all of a sudden the stupid music that anytime they had a vampire come on,
Oh my god, it was the loudest thing in the
it
world.
would just break my fucking eardrum. So I would turn it back down, and then I couldn't understand what the fuck they were saying, and then I'd like it.
Did you also have a problem
just
with
was
not
a-
being able to get subtitles on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad that wasn't just me because I
So that's why I didn't know what the fuck they were saying. So I just kind of had to like make myself deaf
Yeah.
and just kind of turn
Straight
it
up
up.
forgot that they called vampires Methuselahs for like half the show, and I kept forgetting, and I was like, "Who the fuck are the Methuselahs?"
That's it. You can go. That's all I have.
Boy, did this show be boring. I would have done the same thing as Kat if I cared at all. I didn't, so I didn't go back. I was like, I'm not retaining any of this.
you're
And
like
I
that
had-
went right by me and I'm okay with it.
like absolutely. I was like, I couldn't be bothered. Nothing about this show made me care about the show. And at one point, Kat brought up when she started watching it that she was like, "Oh, the main character kind of feels like Vash."
Oh,
And-
yes.
and I was like,
Abel?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can kind of see that, I guess. And then I was like, in the way that he starts every episode, he is like Vash, where he's just like
he
kind of
has,
a bumbling idiot.
He has characteristics that are like Vash. It's just their morals are like different.
Yeah, but also Vash is infinitely more interesting as a
I
character.
do agree with that, but like, which came out first?
Trigun.
Yeah,
Okay.
Trigun.
It just feels like they just like copied but made it vampire, because I literally took a picture for Ryan because I was like, he reminds me of Vash, and it's literally the two of them with their giant coats and
And
their
the sunglass-
glasses.
and the
yeah,
glasses.
and then it's like they're literally the same. It's like they were like, okay, you can copy my homework, but just like change it a little bit. And
Yeah,
then
just
that was
change it and made it infinitely worse.
And then anytime he like wasn't serious and he was talking, it was very Vash, like getting himself into trouble. They both like put their hands up like this and like are nervously laughing like a lot. Like I still do see the similarities, but just their morals are different. Like when kills, Vash refuses not to.
Right? Yeah. It is there, but it's just vastly inferior.
It's enough there to notice.
Right.
So.
But like I just didn't care.
Yeah, I did tell Mike that I was like, boy, does this make Trigun interesting.
And I was like, first of all, how dare you? But second, I'll take the win, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I never found it very interesting. I feel like I never really cared about the characters. My God, did the Pope and the fucking little vampire kid that shows up later that thought he was important.
The Earl?
Sure.
Yeah.
Boy, can that guy get really shrill.
But he was actually like a child.
Right, but
Yeah,
boy.
Okay. Like,
every time he spoke, he got up there.
In the manga, I don't know why they made Ion, because his character design is relatively similar, but they make him sound like he hasn't hit puberty yet.
He's supposed to already?
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be like 16, 17 in the manga, or at least like his physical age.
I thought it looked like it fit, so I wasn't bothered by it.
No, he's
fit,
much more.
But it bothered me.
He's like much more refined in the manga. Like that was not the voice I was reading for him when before I watched the show. When I was reading it, and I'm like, so then when he came on, I was like, who the fuck?
Especially because
they make him much more whiny.
What's her name? Esther.
Yeah.
Especially because she's taller than him. I don't know. It felt fitting, and I was genuinely impressed with the shrill.
It was impressive.
Yeah, like I was just like, damn, he is really going for this role. Like he is dedicated.
He's going for it.
But yeah,
so I was
impressed. I was not that interested, and also, it didn't go anywhere.
No,
the ending solved nothing that was already an issue to begin with. Nothing changed from the beginning of the show to the end.
Season 2?
No, I don't think so.
They sure thought they were going to.
I guess so.
Because that ending.
Literally nothing that was going on at the beginning of the show was any different by the end of it.
No.
He starts and ends in basically the same spot, except I guess he's kind of a nomad now.
Yeah.
And sure, that's a bit of a spoiler, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
There's not much context to that.
Yeah.
And what's weird though, so in comparison, like the show goes at a snail but also lightning pace.
Sure
does. It will spend so much time on literally nothing, and then when it's supposed to be important character moments, it's like, okay, why build on this for like 2 or 3 episodes so you can really feel the gut punch? No, introduce these characters and have them betray each other in one episode.
Nuclear bomb of exposition with no lead up, with no sirens, nothing. It's just, oh man, what a nice day. Holy shit, a nuke.
Wait, also each episode is only like 19 minutes long because there sure is 2 minutes of the intro and like 2 minutes of the outro.
Yeah.
So there's just, it flies the fuck by, and that's why I had to repeat episodes because I was like, it's over? I was like, I don't think I know one thing that happened from this episode.
If I could say one relatively good thing, or maybe not good,
I like the character design.
OP, never skip.
I
skipped every time.
I was gonna say,
for sure.
I wouldn't say never skip. It didn't bother me.
Oh, I really
like a lot of times.
a lot
of times when I was just letting it play, like I didn't feel a need to be like, all right, let me skip.
No,
the
I
intro.
for sure skipped it every single time because you knew there was nothing that you were gonna miss by skipping exactly like 1 minute and 55 seconds in, and then it just starts.
Right.
So I could get through this faster, so I didn't have to deal with it. So for sure skipped.
But yeah, I didn't really like it. Sage.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like, I don't remember if I thought it was really good back then, but I don't think it is now. Like I still kind of had a good time watching it because it is kind of like the level of ridiculousness and stupidity that I enjoy, if that makes sense.
Right. This shit does have a 7.3.
Exactly.
Somehow.
But it was like, what was it? What did I tell you it was on fucking Crunchyroll? Like 4.7 or
oh yeah,
like out of 5, like something super high. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I still think I would attribute to that to more than likely people that watched it as a kid and just have the nostalgia for it.
Yeah, but like,
or people really like it because they're a simp for vampires.
It didn't even feel
or
fair.
vampires.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called.
Cruise
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so while I was watching, I was just like,
so what a weird technological age they're in.
Yeah.
like weird blimp super ships, but like then also some people don't know what like a computer is.
Yeah.
And they don't have like telephones.
Nope.
But they have like holograms.
Sure do.
Yep.
Like just
Wait,
a really
okay.
weird mesh
I have
of
a
technology.
question.
It's like Naruto.
Yeah.
a really weird mesh.
The like nun sister whatever that's a hologram. Did they
Yeah,
ever
Sister
talk?
Kate.
Did they talk why she's a hologram? Because
Oh, no, she's a real person. You see her be a real human in the manga.
So why? Is
I don't
she
know
a-
why she only shows up as a hologram.
Okay,
in this
I was
show.
like, I must have missed
she's-
somewhere.
Also, they have
why.
cyborgs, but like
Yes.
they
Yeah.
never really touch on that. That character also barely shows up ever again.
it's so
He's like very like sprinkled in later.
Yeah.
No, it's really weird because especially I noticed this was weird in the OP as well because I was like, why are they spending so much time on Trace in this OP?
So
Like,
much.
why are you 1/3 of this entire OP?
I mean,
It was all his cool moments in the first 5 episodes.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. He was in it a lot at the beginning, so
but
like, they
then
could've
like
just gone off of that.
afterwards, literally gone.
I think I would have been more interested in watching a show about him than I would have with Abel.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, halfway through, Abel's not even the main character anymore.
Yeah.
They
It-
just
well,
it,
it
just
becomes the
switches.
girl and
Yeah,
the-
it's just Esther.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The Earl.
Ion.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is he's not even in the main character in the manga either. She's the main character like the whole time.
Wow.
He's like the secondary main character, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the story is more about her in the manga.
anyway,
feel
you should
like-
finish your thoughts.
yeah.
Get to
Oh
the
yeah.
spoilers. I keep cutting you off. My bad.
It's okay. But yeah, I mean, I think this show is pretty mid-tier overall. Like, it could have been much worse. It could be much better. Like, I can see what they were trying to do, but
Yeah,
extremely
like,
average.
I feel like it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, the
but
concept
it's
is
just
good,
like
but
fumbled.
they're so all over the place and they don't know where to like focus stuff
Yeah.
that it kind of falls flat, and stuff that they want to feel like impactful, they just rush by it. And then other stuff that's totally meaningless, they're like, let's spend as much time on this as we can.
Yeah.
It's very weirdly like laid out, especially because they have 24 episodes, but it feels like they do very little with
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was thinking too. Like, they had all of this time that a lot of shows don't even get. They get 12 episodes, and they had so much time to do so much stuff, but like, yet it's still fucked up. I feel like nothing but everything happens all at once.
Yeah,
like,
no,
that they did not.
They do a really poor job balancing like character elements with plot beats that need to happen, and like exploring the world all at once. I don't know why they didn't figure out how to juggle it.
It's
don't
just
know.
outstandingly.
I
okay.
feel like they wrote it episode by episode. Like, they wrote an episode,
Yeah,
they
which is-
animated it, and then the next one they're like, okay, what are we gonna do this episode? Instead of like having a whole
Yeah, a
plan.
whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Which is weird because there's a light novel and a manga, and then it was an anime, so you would think that they would have that like fleshed out what they
maybe
wanted
because
to do.
like the anime was coming out while the manga was coming out, so maybe.
But the light novel was already out.
done.
But also
Yeah.
wasn't finished either version, so who knows?
I guess that's
I don't know.
true.
Anyway,
So maybe they were just like, well, we're just gonna fuck around and find out.
yeah.
hey,
sure
spoilers from now on. So if you didn't watch it, fuck off
Don't watch it.
or don't, and listen to us talk about
Yeah,
it
it's
anyway.
really
Yeah.
don't have to.
Anyway, yeah. So there's your spoiler warning. Anyway,
I would just like you to know that at least from the manga part that I read, the Pope is non-existent.
Oh,
I don't
good.
know who
I'm
the
glad
fuck.
they,
Good, that
they
character
decided
sucks.
Yo,
that
this
he was
whiny ass Pope.
important.
How did this man become the Pope?
well,
How do you
yeah.
even like?
I don't think it was a born into thing for that universe.
I sure don't
And
know.
he was
and
a
he also
crybaby the
doesn't
entire
know why
time.
he's the Pope.
Yeah.
Like, when the little girl is like telling him, like, you know, you're chosen by God and like you're this amazing person, he's like, I am.
Thanks.
Yeah, like, are you sure? And it's like, who put you here? Like, why is this a thing? I don't know. Like,
He was just like so helpless and annoying.
yeah.
It was
And
just
also the like older brother, right hand man guy whose name I can't remember. I don't know if they ever say his name.
the one that like kind of felt like he wanted to take his position.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if they ever said his name, but I don't know what his name
Absolutely felt like he was going. Like I honestly thought there was going to be a subplot with him trying to like
usurp the Pope. Yeah, I thought so too because they like clearly show that from like episode 1 when we first meet them. Also, not in the manga either. I don't know if he's in the light novel or whatever. Like the only character you see that's like part of like the Pope's party is
Pope Squad.
The Pope Squad is Lady Katerina, and then her like right hand man, which is Sister Kate, the hologram.
Okay, so I think I missed something, and I
Yeah.
would like to ask the group.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the thing about the fucking bell where they were like, you can't ring this bell, everyone's going to die or something?
And then it was just
And then nothing happened?
Yeah, like that. I guess that was a thing, because to be like, oh well, you don't trust us or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
was a
thought that-
ploy. So the bell was
Yeah.
a regular ass bell. They just wanted them to think it was not a regular bell.
Yeah.
That would like kill people silently.
Okay, but why?
So they could go on with their actual plan.
to
So they
make-
could sow the seeds of suspicion
Yeah, to make
Well-
people think.
that Lady
that-
Katerina is untrustworthy.
Yeah.
But it was the Pope Squad that was put that plan in motion, right?
No, not the Pope Squad.
They're the one who
Pope
rang the
Squad's
bell.
like uncle.
Right.
But he's not part of the Pope Squad. He's been elsewhere.
Okay.
Pope
so he was a dick, right?
Yes, he was a dick.
Okay, so he did that on purpose.
Correct.
To sow
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
mistrust. Why?
So
I
they
sure
could
don't think
put
that
her on like house arrest, so she wouldn't be privy to their real plans.
Which is that like machine that Abel destroys, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I felt like I missed the start of
No,
why the hell
Which
any
is-
of that was happening.
It sure
another
just
weird
isn't explained
thing. Like
well.
in the manga, the destroying blimp, whatever, that goes on for so much longer. It's like way more explained, and it's like, okay, this is why it's a threat, and it's not like some sneaky bullshit. They're just like, here's our blimp, we're gonna blow up your town, and it like goes on much longer. So you feel the like, okay, here's the stakes, right? Like you want the heroes to win, but in the anime, they're just like, they introduce the blimp and beat the blimp in the same episode.
Do you also get the arbitrary limit unlock in the manga where it's like, you know, he's like fighting the dude and he's like, I don't want to fight you, and then he gets punched in the face and he's like, all right, release restraint level fucking 20%.
Yeah.
And you're like, what does any of this mean? And then I think he goes from like 20 to 80.
Yeah, the next time he does it is 80.
And then
I was
he
like,
just
did
like-
I miss something? I was like, no, for sure he did go from 20 to 80.
Like somebody pushed him to 80, and then every time after that he was like, all right, 80 it is.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, all right. And again, with like the lack of subtlety that exists in the show, where you have the main character, I guess, whatever, side main character, Abel, whose brother is evil, and his brother's name is Cain, and you're like, wow, all right, I can't tell where this is going. And then they have a sister, which is the fucking like
Yeah.
child-looking
Seth.
one,
The Empress.
Seth, who is the emperor of everything, I guess.
No, only the emperor of like the vampires.
I thought it was also the people,
No,
because I thought she said, you're also my subject to Erina.
no.
Dive.
I mean, like the human realm where they have like the Vatican and the church, they don't recognize her as like their leader.
No, I know, but I thought she was like the ruler of the land, though.
I
for the
couldn't
empire.
tell you. Sure don't know.
I don't know. I remember her calling Erina her subject, which is why I was like, so is she the ruler of everything then?
I don't think she's supposed to be the ruler of everything.
Okay, well,
I
whatever.
could be wrong.
She sure wasn't important enough if that's where they were going
But
with.
also,
like they
like-
should have stressed that more if that is what she's supposed to be.
And they're also just like people that were made for a trip to Mars.
I don't know.
Like they because when Cade shows up and then they get that flashback where they're on the fucking like space station or whatever.
Yeah.
and he's like,
Which
we're
also
just
felt very
tools to go to
Trigun.
Mars, and you're like, wait, what? Like, so you were just grown in a lab or some shit? You're not
It's
like
very
regular
Trigun.
things.
I'm just saying.
No, because they are angelic beings from another dimension.
And then they're fucking vampires. And like, I don't give a shit, Mike. Do you see? It's just homework that's just changed a little.
No, not a little. It's changed a lot and badly.
Whatever. I don't care.
Stop comparing this bad show to a good
I'm
one.
gonna compare them the whole time. The two brothers, one's evil, one's good. Same fucking shit.
All right, but that's a common trope.
I was
I
gonna say
guess.
I don't think you can base.
But
that
when
off
there's
a trope.
already this many things,
I guess.
and then that added to it. But yes, I guess it is a common thing.
Anyway.
But
yeah, like they're like people for a Mars mission or something, but I guess that didn't work out or whatever. And then they're like, all
That's
right,
what the light novel Journey to Mars.
Yeah.
maybe. And
Reborn from Mars.
Yes.
and then they're like, all right, well, I guess we'll just go to Earth because this is where we don't want to stay up here anymore. Did they ever explain why they went to Earth?
I don't think so.
They shoot
Unless-
their brother down into which. Did they also ever explain why he became evil?
The brother, Cain?
Yeah, because Abel was a dick in the flashbacks. He was like, why do we give a shit about humans? Whatever. And Cain's like, yeah, but humans are great. Like, whatever. And then, from what I remember, I think it just jumps to them fucking like the Seth just shoots him out of an airlock into the Earth. And then that's it. Like, we don't explain. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't explain why they go to Earth, why the brother turned evil.
I don't know.
I
also
don't think so because it was so close to the end of it that I'm pretty sure you're right that's not.
It's weird
explained.
because they do like the first arc is I think like the first 12 to 13 episodes, but in that 12 to 13 episodes they only spend like 1/3 of the time developing the actual story, and then the second arc is in like 14 to maybe like 19 or 20, right around there. And then you get like the last arc, which is only 4 to 5 episodes long. And I'm
literally
like,
nothing.
What is this pacing?
Sure is. Like,
and that seems like
That's
the
what I'm
most
saying, like,
important,
like
and it was the
lightning,
shortest.
but also snail pace.
like Abel fucking dies. And then he's already back to life in like an episode, and then
Okay.
he's like
Yeah.
just a random
But death-
demon form of himself fighting Cain in the background.
But death
while all
is
this stuff
so
happens.
meaningless. The amount of times Radu dies, I'm like, just
but
don't
that
even
wasn't
kill him
actually,
at this point.
that wasn't even actually him though.
Yeah, it's Dietrich like body snatching him,
Yeah,
but it's
so
such,
that's
it's
different.
So stupid.
But wait, can you actually? Because I thought I just missed it. How was he still actually alive, Abel?
They never explain, as far as I'm aware, they don't explain what the fucking juice is, but they like there's like a girl or something that's like on a table dead or some shit, and red hair girl is
Esther?
like
Esther.
no, the other one. Oh no, she's blonde. The one that wears a red.
Katarina?
Yeah, she
Oh,
wears red. She like walks over to this girl and she's like, "I'm sorry, but we got to save your friend or whatever," and presses a button, and then like a tube shoots out, and then a bunch of black liquid gets like put
Yes,
into
okay,
it.
yeah,
and then
wait.
she gives
No,
it to the cyborg and is like, "Go give this to Abel."
Oh, okay.
And then he
I
walks
do-
over
I
and
do remember the
pours it
liquid
out.
tube.
And I don't think they explain who that person is or what that is. If they do, I missed it. Which
maybe it's just blood because that's what he consumes is blood of
no, it's
vampires.
black.
but the person must have been important somehow.
We
Clearly
don't
not
know.
enough.
We don't know.
Again, like I feel bad slightly because like somebody's gonna watch this and be like, "You guys didn't fucking pay attention."
No, I know. That's like the thing too. And that's what I'm saying. Like my brain was tuning it out. Like that's so bad.
Like I was trying.
I don't
But I
even think that
couldn't.
happened with NHK. Like I'm pretty sure like I was so bored with that show, but like at least I know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Like with this show, I and it might just be because they did too much, whereas NHK was like
Much more
like
deliberately
pace that
slow.
exactly
pace.
like you could know, so maybe it's like that kind of thing. So bored with both, but at least I know what the fuck happened in that show, and then this one I don't know. And I don't know if maybe because of the church, like when I used to go to religion class, like I used to tune that the fuck out. So like maybe it's triggering something in me, and
where
I
you're just like, no.
yeah, I
cannot
just hear
absorb.
father, sister, and it's just gone. I don't hear it anymore. The Pope.
But like, yeah, like he comes back to life, and then he's like a demon form of himself.
Yes.
And then him and Cain are just fighting in the background while everything else happens. Like the fight doesn't really matter, and then he just gets away.
Sure does.
Like they don't show the fight. They don't show how it ends. They just he got away. And
I assume that it had to have been like Kat saying, like some kind of sequel bait.
it's just like
I think so. It
because
wouldn't make any other sense.
they're starting to fight, and then it like time jumps to fucking Erina being like, "I'm the queen now," and or whatever she is, and she's like going to the fucking knighting ceremony or whatever, or crowning ceremony, and then it jumps to fucking Abel like wandering the wastelands of fucking the forest or whatever, and then the fucking Ion or whatever shows up as like, I'm here to help you defeat that guy. And
Oh
you're
my
like,
God,
why do you
wait,
care?
wait.
Why do you care at all?
When he's there with the cloak and you can clearly see it's him, but he has to have this whole moment of throwing off the cloak. And I'm like, I saw you. Like, they showed me enough. It wasn't even like it was a dark shadow. And then he did it. I clearly
You're
saw
like,
that it was
we know it's you.
And he throws it in the most fucking dramatic way possible.
And he-
rips that shit
And
off.
he's like, I'm going to help you kill this dude who's like, first of all, Abel couldn't kill him. Second of all, you've been getting your ass kicked the
whole
entire
time.
show.
The
So how
whole
am I going to
time.
think you're going to help at all? And again, like, nothing changed except now I guess he's not part of the church. That's the only thing that changed.
Yeah.
Like, and Erinna's now queen or whatever, but like no politic.
Erina?
Whatever the fuck her name is.
Esther?
Esther.
Yeah. I
You
keep
kept
saying
saying
Erina.
Erina,
Yeah.
I know,
and I'm
and I was
like,
like,
I don't know if
I didn't wanna
I'm
keep
just.
I
correcting it,
didn't
whatever.
question you because I was just like, I don't know
He
half
kept
these
saying
people.
it with so much
Yes,
confidence
yes.
that I was like,
Then I was like,
surely.
I don't know half of these people's names.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
But
right.
I'm like, but while you were
Yeah,
saying it, I'm
yes,
like, I
yes.
am pretty sure that Esther becomes
Yes,
the queen.
okay, thank you.
I
Because
but
absolutely
also maybe
couldn't remember
I'm
her name. It was like, I know it's
that's
with
exactly
E.
my problem too. I
A
was like, I
master
don't,
class in
I
gaslighting.
was like, I don't want to say anything because
I don't
want to
be out here. Yeah, right. But I'm like, that feels wrong.
Once you said that part, you were like, she's screaming. Like, I was like, no, you're
Yeah,
actually
no,
talking
yeah.
about Esther.
I absolutely kept forgetting her name, even though you guys kept saying it. And went, Erina sounds right.
I
It's
was
an
like,
E.
but you were saying it was
Yeah.
your whole chest.
Yes.
You were like, so Erina did this, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, I even read the manga. There's no Erina in the manga. Maybe they just added more characters, like how they do in the anime anyway.
But no. So Esther, like, I don't remember where the fuck I was going with it.
She becomes the queen.
Yeah, right. Like, the only thing that's different is that she becomes queen. But no political alignments change at all. Like the vampires, yeah, she's friends with the vampires, but we see no difference in changing of like the ideologies at all. And like Io, who showed up at one random point, is now
Io.
there with Ion,
Ion.
whatever. Who cares? I don't. And Ion is now with Abel, even though whatever. Like nothing changed. So what the fuck's the point of the show?
I don't know.
Nobody learned any lessons. Nothing changed. Like,
I don't know.
The lesson is if you have a star-shaped birthmark on your body, you're probably a princess. Or
no,
something.
you're
Yeah.
a JoJo.
It's also true.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit, it's a JoJo. Would have been way more interesting if all of a sudden a fucking goddamn steamroller landed on her out of nowhere.
Something that I noticed was weird is that like in the show particularly, Esther goes between being like, how could anyone murder anyone, to like, I'm gonna pop your ass.
She at one
Wait,
point
she
when
murdered
she was
someone at the beginning.
yeah, she did.
But that was for revenge.
But like I
She
did
still murdered someone.
I did think about that one scene when Ion's like getting attacked and she just fucking whips out a shotgun. And is
Yeah.
like, well, bam!
No, I think
Sends that shit.
wasn't she shot first and then she also like.
I think she was
whipped him?
shot, took the shotgun out, shot a person,
And then-
definitely killed them, and then got
yes.
stabbed and shot again.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
And then also the first time that Abel goes to like 80% of his power, and Esther sees it, she like goes full on catatonic in the manga. She's like traumatized. And then in the anime, it happens and then it literally just cuts to the next day. She's like, all right, let's go.
I mean, she was a little traumatized. She was like upset and everything.
no,
but it was quick that she was
yeah.
like,
literally
okay.
in the manga, this goes on for chapters.
Really?
Also,
that makes more sense. Like so.
in the same
She's
scene,
in bed for chapters.
in the same scene when she shotguns a bitch, and she gets stabbed, I would just like to point out how stupid it was that like Ion absolutely sees her get stabbed or whatever. She shoots and then she faints and blood is pouring out of her onto the ground and he's holding her like, Esther, what's wrong? Are you okay? And I'm like, what do you mean? Are you okay? There's blood on
Are you
her.
stupid? And didn't she push him out of the
Yeah.
way, and that's the reason she
Yeah.
got shot?
Yeah.
So, like,
And I was like,
don't know.
the blood on the floor, her fainting, absolutely out, like obviously getting stabbed or shot, whatever it was. That none of that's giving you any inclination about why she's not okay.
Wait, I have a small question that's not that important, but isn't silver bullets a thing
For
about
werewolves.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
was
I
bothering me
thought.
too.
I was like, isn't that about werewolves?
I think so.
And then I was like, I don't know
silver
enough.
technically, for some vampire lore.
It's,
affects
yeah?
yeah, it's
because
for some.
the original reason that people wrote that vampires couldn't see themselves in mirrors
It's
was
'cause
because
it's made of
mirrors were
silver.
made of silver.
Oh.
So silver, in some lore, does affect
Okay.
vampires.
I didn't know that.
But I
And
never,
I just
I
kept thinking
never
about
heard
a
of it in lore as
werewolf.
like hurting them.
I can look it up, but there's also a lot.
Because I know
There's
there's like silver involved in vampire lore, but I never heard it as like a weapon for vampires.
Yeah, they use wood bullets.
I mean, some shows I think do that. Well, I was gonna say something about the comparison again, and I
about
can't
her
remember.
being upset for 4 chapters.
Oh, I mean, silver burns vampires, so
Oh,
It
okay.
does?
yeah.
Oh, also, this is a slight nitpick, but when they're trying to get Ion out of that like hotel or wherever the fuck he's in, and they're going through like the underwater channel into like the boat,
The sewer.
during that they're saying we need to wait for it to be nighttime because you can't go out in the sun, right? And I'm like, that makes sense. You burst into flames. But then once they get him out, the sun is still out and they're just happily rowing away. He is not bursting into flames. I don't understand.
I don't know. They said something. They said they're at some. I don't know if it was then, but they said something about the sun and how there was like a something covering that. Or
That's
Oh,
In
the
the-
city, the
Empire.
lapis lazuli wall or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
And at one point they say that his windows are tinted with something. So like when
Yeah.
Esther goes to open the windows or something,
Oh my
she's
God,
like,
wait.
"Oh, don't open the windows. He's gonna die." And they're like, "Ah, they're tinted. Fucking
Wait,
shut up."
When she was
But
just
that's
like,
in the Empire.
No. That also happens
at
outside
their
the Empire.
hotel or whatever.
yeah, when it's Esther and Ian together, and she's like, "Oh, you know, you love looking out the window. Let me open it for you." And she trots over. I was just imagining. It just,
Bam! It just turns to ash.
I really thought that's where it was going because she kind of seems like a dumb bitch sometimes.
That
Like,
would have been so funny.
That would have made the show so much better.
That's exactly what I was fucking picturing. And then when she opened it and it was nighttime, I was like, oh.
There-
Wah, wah,
Yeah.
There's
wah.
also like, who the fuck was the spear guy that was being such a fucking asshole the entire time?
Oh, with the bangs?
Yeah.
Um,
And then he's like, "Oh, I will be your knight." And then at some point, because he's like, because I have to protect the people, and right now helping you protects the people.
hold on, I forget his name, but he's like super duper devoted to being Christian.
And like at some point, because they take the boat or whatever to get away from them, but
Yeah.
it's daytime, and they take the boat, and they're already outside with Ion. And
I
it's
just
during-
said that.
Oh, did you?
Gosh,
Yes.
do you
Oh, I
not
missed that.
listen?
No, so they covered her. Him.
Yeah, but he wasn't covered
but
for a while.
Yeah, I absolutely also thought that I zoned out for a second. I absolutely also thought that I was like,
Oh, I think his
now
name
it
is
matters.
Pietro. Hold on.
Sure.
Yeah, Pietros.
He was really fucking annoying.
Petros, sorry. Yeah, Knight of Destruction.
Yeah, sure.
Night of
The
Destruction.
Wild Boar. Those are his aliases.
Sure, that fits, I guess. He was a dick.
Supposedly he's 30 years old.
Okay, sure. Why not?
But yeah, he's very rambunctious.
You know what I wanted more of out of the show?
What?
And it didn't even happen to the last fucking 2 episodes. The dude with the flying car and his like sidekick.
The dude with the flying car.
Yeah, he's
I
like
missed him
he
because
like
I don't know what
during the
fuck you're
final
talking
fight,
about.
he's like driving his car with the fucking dude like his passenger seat. He's like, "It's a good thing I made a car that can fly." And he's like, "What?" And then he like turn like the fucking car gets wings and a rocket shoots out the back.
With the professor?
Yeah, the professor.
Oh, okay.
And like he's flying around and then like they start getting shot and he's like, "It's a good thing I put missiles in this too." And then he shoots missiles at like the flying fucking fortress thing. It does nothing. And the guy in the passenger seat's like, "Wow, I'm so glad you put missiles in it. Didn't do shit." And he's like, "All right, well, I'll put
trying my
better
best."
missiles in next time." And I was like, this dynamic, whatever this is, I would want more of this. And he's like, "Yeah, the car's not very aerodynamic, so it doesn't handle very well." And then they start like spinning around out of control. And he's like, "But I can fix it. Don't worry about it."
The professor is a really fun character, and we only see him, I think, in like 1 or 2 episodes in the beginning, and then, like you're saying, at the very end. I don't know
I was
why.
like,
He's
I
so
would have absolutely
underutilized.
been more interested in this fucking duo of some dude that's like matter of factly like, "Yeah, I built a car that flies," and he's just like, "Yeah, I put missiles in it for
funsies."
Yeah, and then the guy who's like super like serious and just being like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Like,
That would have been way more fun.
Oh wait, what's her name? The one with like the lightning staff.
And what the red?
Yeah, with the red
bang?
streak.
Oh yeah, she's
Asta,
a vampire,
I think
right?
her name is. I don't know why, but her introduction in the show is so random, where like her introduction in the manga makes way more sense.
Was she giving you she wants to fuck Abel vibes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
And someone
No,
said
she wants
that.
to fuck
Someone said she was really fond of him.
No, she wants to fuck the Count of Tigris.
Who?
The guy who
What
was
did she
trying to
say?
kill the Empress.
No idea.
I need description.
Okay, he had the curly hair and he was wearing a hat and his skin is like slightly tan compared to everybody else.
Was his hair kind of bluish?
Was he the
No.
one that had the ring
No.
that fired lasers
Yes.
and dies?
Oh,
Yes, that's
turns
who
got
to,
she
it.
was trying
turns
to
to salt.
Yes,
Yeah,
got it,
that's
got
who
it,
she
got it,
was
got
trying to
it.
fuck.
Oh, I didn't get that
But
vibe
it's
at all.
weird because they have this unexplained thing in the manga with him having a flashback to meeting Seth, but I think as Seth and not as the Empress, and they're in love. But
What?
then something happens, so he thinks she's dead, and then when he finds out that the Empress is Seth, he's like, but there's no explanation.
The guy that's trying to kill her?
yeah, because he doesn't know that the Empress is Seth.
But then he still tries to kill her.
I don't know. He's a fucking raging lunatic.
Wait, is that the one that he's like, no matter what, a child can't hurt their mother?
Yeah. I don't know. It's some weird ass shit.
Yeah, sure.
Don't ask me.
Whatever. No, she was
I
giving,
just
she
work
was giving
here.
me wants to fuck Abel vibes.
And someone said that. Someone said you like with your mission, like you seem fond of him or something.
Yeah.
It was like out of
it-
character.
It
for
was.
her.
It was the
Because I guess Esther wasn't trying to bang him.
No.
So.
I think
Someone
it was the
had to.
Empress that was like, oh, from your report, it was X, Y, and Z, and she's like, oh, do you want me to change my report?
Oh, yeah.
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 I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and then there's that point when Abel shows up to quote unquote Empress, and it's like, I know who you are. Mm-hmm. And she's like, and then like he gets attacked or whatever, and I guess I was like, I did find that at least interesting, where he shows up and is like, you're not at all the Empress, but like not fully saying that, and he's like, and so he runs away, and she's like, how the fuck does he know? And it was like, because he knows the Empress is his sister,
Right.
and I was like, all right, well that was kind of interesting, I guess, like that he just shows up and is like, oh, I see what's going on, all right.
But what's
Yeah.
stupid is it's supposed to be this ruse, right? Because at least in the manga, they look somewhat similar, minus like the hair color, right?
Yeah,
They make Esther like 3 feet fucking tall.
I'm guessing that nobody had ever seen her before.
They see her body. They know what she like. Her general proportions look like.
I know
No
she was
idea.
behind that like fucking obscured ball thing. Maybe she's always behind that.
No, usually that's why she has the veil, so she can look upon her subjects, but
Well,
they
then maybe
can't
she
see her.
always uses that count as a body double.
No, because she even says that she decided to use the Count as her
Oh.
body double when Ion returned to the Empire.
Yeah, then I have no idea.
Me neither.
We're
Who
gonna
knows?
get shit on for not fucking knowing anything about this
Look,
show.
But I feel like not knowing isn't even our fault.
it's just a fault of the show that it never made anything about it interesting. Like
It's not. But the problem
I
is
sat there,
It also
I watched
doesn't
all 24
clarify a lot of
episodes.
stuff.
yeah, like I sat there and watched all 24 episodes, and I still feel like I didn't know anything because it never made me actually want to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like in some, like, look, there's bad, there's average bad, and then there's like really bad that you like Handshakers is so bad that like you have so much things that you can talk about, be like, I know why this is bad. And also we all wrote notes for it. For this, it was just boring, but like boringly average. Like it's not necessarily awful, it's not good, it's just average. It is so generically average that I just didn't care.
I just feel like so much happened, and that was the problem. Like there was just too much going on that it just.
Yeah, I mean, they also kept jumping around to random places that I was
Yeah.
like, what does this place have to do with anything? Like, and then they stopped basically like going back to the hub world of like the main church area.
The Vatican?
Yeah, the Vatican to like get missions, and they were just kind of jumping around always. And you're like, what does anything have to do with anything? And then
my
at some
God,
point
wait.
the Pope ends up in the fucking
ghetto?
underground
Factory
thing?
thing somehow. I don't remember how the fuck he got
I
there.
also don't
No, he was
remember.
taking a tour.
So was that was
They-
also in the Empire though, right?
No, that was so.
That's a different town.
Some other city, their queen died, and they're like, yeah, this bitch knew she was going to be dying for a while, and she never named an heir. How dare she?
Well, that was
Right.
Esther, right?
No. This is before Esther becomes the queen.
Oh wait,
No,
Esther's
I know, but
that queen.
yeah,
person?
but that's what I'm talking about. It's for that place.
Right,
That's what
right.
Yes,
For that
yes,
place.
that's what
And
it
so
is.
they go to
Okay.
like talk about diplomatic bullshit with the town. And then they're like, oh, would you like a tour of our fancy pants technology factory underground? And they're like, sure. But, and then it gets fucking bombed because, oh, what a surprise. They're evil and vampires.
Yeah, it's the guy's sister that's like an insurgent or whatever, right?
The guy's sister and the guy is a vampire.
But yeah, they're all vampires though, I thought.
No, just the people that work in the factory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like the girl that not the one that like blows up the factory, but the other girl. She was also a vampire, right?
Which other girl? Because now I'm
She was
confused.
wearing like purple, I think.
Okay.
There was a girl and a guy that were both
brown
like,
The
hair
kid.
girl, blonde hair guy.
With the kid?
no, like when the Pope first goes to see the place, and
The
they're walking
one
him
that's
around.
giving them the
Yeah,
one.
like,
no,
yeah.
no, not her.
No,
Somebody else.
I know she's not bad. I'm just saying she's also a vampire, isn't she?
No, I don't think so.
Are you not talking about the one with the kid? There's
Doesn't
like
the kid show up later?
there's a woman, a man, and a little kid. Are you talking about them?
Yeah, no. That family shows up later, don't they? Because they rescue the Pope.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That
So
he's
not
talking
them.
about when the factory is first blown up.
Oh.
Like when they're
There's
at the
three
beginning
main
of the
people
tour.
there. The brother's sister, who's the insurgent, the brother,
Right.
and then wasn't there a third girl
Yeah,
that was a scientist?
Yes, the woman that was there who was originally talking to Esther and the Pope. She's not a part of that. I don't think so.
Oh, I thought she was also a vampire.
I thought she wasn't, but I could be wrong.
Because I thought that like at some point the Pope's like, "Oh wait, are you guys vampires?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then the explosion happens, and then they're like, "Oh god!" And then he
no,
gets
the,
saved.
the explosion happens before that. Because they're like, where the fuck is the Pope?
Yeah, because they're whatever. Who cares? Whatever.
I have a manga question.
Yeah.
It just okay. So, what's the deal in the manga with Sister Noelle? They like made such
Doesn't
a
exist.
big fucking thing
Doesn't
about
exist.
her.
Doesn't exist.
Like,
We're gonna get fucking flamed.
I
for-
know.
At least not in the
It-
portion
it
of the
was-
manga I read, but she does not show
it
up
was
once.
such a big thing, but also nothing at the same fucking time. Like he was
Yeah.
depressed for I think like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like
But you know what?
I don't know.
What makes me mad is because the way they like set that up right for like before her death is her being like confessing her love and him being like, "Oh boy, oh howdy doodly," like he doesn't even care.
Howdy doodly.
And then she dies, and he's like, "I can't believe I let this happen. I let her slip between my fingers." I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?"
yeah, I don't know.
Like,
they made such a big thing about it, but like also she was barely in it.
she was there for like 3 fucking seconds.
I know. So
also,
I was like, I don't know.
am I the only one who thought that her character design was a copy paste of that other sister in the second episode that like tricks the little girl whose name I don't remember?
I thought that was her.
Right. Like, I don't think it is her because
didn't-
then they have a gag of like, no, this is the sister and it's some fucking ugly bitch. And they're
I
like,
thought that
oh,
was
no.
her. Oh fuck! I don't fucking.
No, it's just some weird like copy and paste of like a
Yeah.
character model. And I don't know if they did that on purpose.
I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Like I didn't even think twice about that shit.
Yeah, it really threw me off. I was like, are you just getting tricked again and you don't even know
Yeah.
what? But then I thought you like burst into flames. So I'm confused how you're here.
Okay,
Couldn't tell you.
Ooh, answers?
The person I was thinking about was the bad sister,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter.
Okay, great.
Well, because I saw her design and I was like, oh no, that's who it is. So, whatever.
Okay.
It's fine.
Very good.
Yeah. Also, I would like to point out that for whatever reason, like Esther has like Klein advert like level eyes, and
Yeah.
nobody else does. Like she's fucking massive anime eyes, and everyone else is like fairly regular normal
Because
eyes.
she's special.
Yeah, she's special. Come on.
Yeah. Sure.
You're
and
supposed to
she's
know
supposed to
special.
be the main character.
Didn't you
but
notice
she's
from her
not.
bright red fucking hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So
That's some protagonist hair right there.
I just like the show was bad.
All right, closing thoughts. I don't think we have any more specifics.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think.
Please
like,
don't
the,
flame
the,
us.
The general soundtrack I thought was
Actually,
fine.
flame us because I want to know what
Yeah,
your
give-
actual thoughts are and like if you think this is good, why. So like actually flame us because I'm curious because a lot of people do like this show. So
Apparently.
I need to know.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, if someone can give us like a more in-depth analysis than what we did, because I was very confused. throughout.
Almost any time we've gotten complaints, they have been elaborate answers, except for one time.
Yeah. So give us like
But-
a nice broken down like essay. Give us some like good points. Source your.
For like the 8 times that people have left complaints, 7 of them have been well thought out, like paragraphs. So
Well, I wanna
be
see
the
it.
you be the next well thought out paragraph. Don't be the,
Yeah.
the one that was just
The bad
Yeah.
apple.
yeah.
Teach us something. I like also just wonder if because the mixing was so weird, if I wouldn't want to watch this in sub for 24 episodes.
No.
But I wonder if I could have paid attention more if I did that because it forces you a little bit. But also at the same time, maybe not. Because I feel like because the vocals were low, my brain kind of tuned it out. Like
I could
know.
barely pay attention to Banana Fish, and I liked Banana Fish, so
That's
I don't think I could.
actually, you're right. I was tuning. I did have to go back a little bit for Banana Fish, and a lot did happen in like a good way for Banana Fish. So I guess that's fair. Me?
Yeah, if we want just closing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we got 10 minutes left. It's good enough.
I thought
I mean,
I thought
does
the music
anybody-
was good. I
anything
thought
specific.
like his power of just random scythe appearing was odd.
Blood scythe.
Yeah, sure. The music that kicked in when that happened was kind of fine, I guess. I did really like his sister's power that could just turn people to fucking salt or whatever.
Yeah.
That was cool. I was like, man, I wish that happened way more often.
What did she call it? Like.
I think it was a sound-based thing.
Yeah, it was something like fire of sound, something stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool power.
Anyway.
Also, I felt like they got occasionally too ambitious with the CG, but I think that's just a thing of it being an older show.
Yeah, definitely.
That like you can't really fault them for it because it didn't
Yeah.
look terrible.
Right.
But compared to like today's standards, I was like, ooh, that's kind of
I didn't think it was
sticking
that
out a
bad.
little bit.
Hi, Alex. Or Kieran, one of you two. All right. So
Just trying to open the door so quiet.
I know. You tried.
you're good. We're finishing up, so.
Um.
Anyway, yeah, you can give your closing thoughts.
Okay, my closing thoughts is it was bad.
Yeah,
I
right,
mean,
nice.
it was, I guess, average. Like, I wouldn't say it wasn't, like, Handshakers is bad. Like, no, this is kind of bad. I don't know. I can't fucking decide. I think that it had a really interesting concept, but they just, like, fumbled it. Because when I first started it, I was actually excited. I was like, oh, shit, maybe a show I'm actually going to like. And for the first 2 episodes, they had me. Like, I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I'm for it. Like, I feel like they made the
Dude,
vampire.
I wish 2 episodes at least grabbed me. That would have been rad.
No, at least 2 episodes did.
The first 2 episodes had me so lost. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
But like I said, like I felt like this was more just like a church anime than like a vampire anime. So at least the first 2 episodes are way
It's actually
more.
funded by the Catholic Church.
It's way more vampire, and I
Right.
think that's kind of why I was
Oh,
grasped
dude,
more.
if they showed this in CCE, I would have been way more interested.
That's what they do. Each class, you just watch one
Yeah.
episode. So I feel like I don't know. I was kind of lost there. Though, like I said, I saw that people like this, and I want to know why. I don't know. So clearly, it's not a bad show, but it is. I don't know.
what do you rate it?
I was gonna give it like a 5. Like I was just gonna go right in the
Okay,
middle.
middle of the road, not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, right in the middle. Just kind of because I think I gave Welcome to NHK a 4.
And I think you gave Handshakers a 3.
Yeah. So
Okay, that
it's
sounds
like a
reasonable.
5.
All right.
I did.
I'll take that 5.
5 is
Yeah.
just labeled as average. So.
Yeah, I did really like the character designs. I thought
Yeah,
that they
I always
paid
love the character
yeah, I thought
designs.
they paid a lot of attention to it, and I thought it looked very good. Like that at least there was that. So visually, even though I was not retaining anything, at least visually, it looked. I mean, not the anime specifically, but like the character designs looked nice. So I'll give them that. And I don't know, like maybe if they did like a remake or something, I don't know if
I
they
think
could
the
do it
story would
better.
just need to be more streamlined.
Like they would just have to decide what the fuck they want to like.
Yeah, portray.
Yeah, like what's
And also
the
have an
importance?
end point that actually.
Because there's
Yeah.
the problem is that there's way too much and yet not enough going on.
Yeah. Because I think it's an interesting concept, and there were moments that I was like, oh, cool, but like not enough, especially because it was so long. So maybe if they like redid it would be better, but like they'd have to really think about it because I don't even know. But
Yeah.
5.
Would you
Go.
recommend it?
No.
Yeah, I thought the show was very boring and like just incredibly generically mid. Sure, the character designs were fine, I guess. I mean, I don't know, they seemed pretty basic to me.
The church
But, like,
doesn't
I could-
actually look like that.
Yeah, I
though.
know,
That's
but
why
like
thought
I
it
can at
was-
least tell most of them apart. But like they just go nowhere with so many things that like I just don't find it very worth like even paying attention to. Like a show that makes me actively like if I'm actively trying to pay attention and yet I still retain nothing. Not great.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I don't really think it's also worth watching either. Like it's a show that exists and can very easily just never be watched again. But I would also give it a 5. Like it's generically mid. Like it's average. It's whatever. And I would also not recommend it. Like you want a show that is kind of like it, but not at all and infinitely better, go watch Trigun.
I
Get a
can
better
agree.
time.
Yeah.
I can agree. I didn't like Trigun, but I can agree.
All right. Like you'll at least have a much more interesting time. There'll be an actual change when the ending happens, and there's actually interesting morals and like
A
ethical
through
debates.
line for the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Vash is also just a way more interesting main character.
Yeah.
So go watch that instead, which is just a better version of this. But sure,
And
it
not
does
about
have
vampires.
Yeah, and it's sure, but sure, I would say the concept is at least there.
Yeah.
But they just did nothing with it.
Yeah.
I think I would also give this show a 5. I think
All right.
no, like
Is this the second one in a row that we've all agreed on the score?
I think so.
It was all 7s for right. It was Railgun last, right?
Yeah, Railgun
Yeah.
I think
So it
was
was
all
all
7s
sevens.
across
Wow,
the board.
look at us go. We're becoming more in sync.
Wow, so
Just
harmonious.
took over a year.
But no, like I think I would also give this a 5 primarily because it's just kind of all over the place. I think if it was just a little more like cohesive with what it wanted to be, it would be better.
Right.
And I don't know if that's just like they had production issues or
I think it's
they were
writing
waiting for the
issues.
manga or
Yeah.
they couldn't decide what they wanted to base it off of. But the show itself is just kind of a mess.
Best
Yeah.
part of the show, the Gonzo opening. I was right. I called it in the first 5 seconds I watched the show. I took a video of it and sent it
This
to the
is
chat.
the best part of the show.
And I was right.
Yeah, I just don't think it's all that well executed, which is really unfortunate. Because, like you said, like the concept, I think is really smart.
wanted to
Like I
like it
love the
so
concept.
bad,
I think it's
yeah.
such a great concept. I love the character designs, especially like if you ever look at just artwork from the show. The illustrations are like super detailed, really beautiful. It has the like seeds to be really excellent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they
And it
redid
isn't-
it,
yeah,
like,
which is like
maybe-
what I think makes it so disappointing is because it could be really good,
Yeah.
and it's just not.
I was just reading some reviews
Oh.
of it on the website.
Oh,
And it's funny because part of the joke I was thinking of when I made that like restraint like release level percentage thing is I was referencing Hellsing. It's one of these things. It's like some people say it's a Hellsing ripoff. Some people say it's a Trigun ripoff. Do I agree?
Wait, people said Trigun?
Yeah.
See,
Multiple people
I'm
say
not
it's a
crazy.
Trigun ripoff.
Thank you.
Most people are like, oh, shitty plagiarism. Oh, it's a ripoff of
See?
Trigun.
Wow, I feel so
yeah,
validated right
it does
now.
have very I
Somebody says, though, if you like Trigun, you'll also this is the next best thing. I was like,
No.
no, not at all.
No.
I also thought it was more closely a ripoff of Hellsing than Trigun, primarily because like Alucard, his power set is really similar,
Right.
of like, you know, the power restrictions and blah blah blah, but and him working for like an organization
Yeah.
kind of a thing is opposed to
Except
being
Hellsing's way more interesting.
Oh yeah, no, Hellsing.
Ultimate. Watch Hellsing Ultimate. Don't watch regular Hellsing.
Yeah, it's infinitely better.
Yeah.
but it definitely has similarities.
Also, just watch the abridged, too. That's also really good.
Yeah, the abridged is funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would only recommend this if you already like kind of like trashy vampire things.
No, there's way better trashy vampire things for sure.
If that's not your cup of tea,
If
just
you
want to
watch a church anime, watch this. That's
So what am I writing for you? Yes or no?
you can put no.
Okay.
just
Cool.
altogether no.
All right. Well, hey, that's our thing. Next up is Kat.
Yep.
Ooh, what are we watching?
What's your pick? What
We're
are we
watching another vampire show.
Oh yay!
But this one, I think it was just last season that it came out. It's Call of the Night.
Oh, damn. I was like, oh, is it Mars Red?
No,
already
it's
watched
12
that.
episodes.
The night.
Call of the Night.
Oh, Call the Night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the last season, but maybe it was the season before that. It's another vampire show. It's about a boy who he's out
Oh, I think
late.
I meant to watch this. A lot of people really liked this
Yeah,
show.
I enjoyed it. Is it like one of my favorites? No, but I enjoyed it. And
Technically, it's a summer season show,
Okay.
but it came out July to September.
Okay.
It's 12 episodes. I found
It's
it a really
13, actually.
sorry.
God.
My
God. Get
Trash the
your facts
episode.
right.
Get rid of it. Throw it out.
It's at 13 episodes. My bad. I don't know. I liked it. It's about a boy and a vampire, and he's. Can I say that? Yeah, I feel like you find it out in the first episode. So, basically, he wants to become a vampire, but the thing is, you can't just be turned into vampires. You have to fall in love with the vampire, and then they suck your blood.
Oh, okay.
So-
So there's like stipulations
Yeah.
or requirements rather.
Yes, and so it's a little bit of a romance anime, but like not too heavily. But I just thought it was a nice watch.
Okay.
So good for we've been watching long ass fucking shows, just like a nice easy little break.
Yeah, I think my
Yeah.
next recommendation is also going to be long, but then after that, it's all 12s that I have in mind. So that's nice, at least.
So because I just watched this like a week or two ago, and I was like, you know what?
I recommend it.
Yeah,
Fun.
All right. Well, hey, you have 5 weeks to watch Call of the Night. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Anime Club. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, follow. Don't forget to check out Cat the Moonstar on Twitch. And we will see you guys next week for whatever the fuck we talk about.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.